Grand Rising. I hope everybody's having an amazing day. You know me, I absolutely am. But what? I wake up every day intentional and make it my business to do so. You already know this. So, today is day 16 of our 21 days to self-love and soul alignment challenge. If you're new, welcome, come in, grab a seat, get comfortable. And if you're on day 16, welcome back, my loves. And I'm so proud of the fact that you are showing up for yourself, displaying this commitment and discipline to yourself in this way. I'm so proud of you. Okay? So, I'm early today. I got a long week here. I'm getting ready to go on my cruise for 7 days. And so I have a lot of little things to put together. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into the lesson. If you have any questions, absolutely feel free to drop them. I will come back and answer them at some point. And more than likely, I'm going to be on at this time the rest of the week. Okay? Now, today our topic is going to be authenticity is freedom. Okay? And I'm here to tell you, it absolutely is. Okay? You have to understand that to be authentic, right, is to be true to oneself, personal and spiritually. Okay? This is you owning your values and your morals and not conforming. Okay? I just talked about this the other day. You were not meant to conform. You were created to transform. Okay? So to be authentic is to be real, to be genuine, to not be fake, not false or copied, or that person is true to their own personality and spirit. Okay? To be original, to be true to your authentic self, who you are at your core. Okay? Now, one thing, well, I'm going to give you a few things here because I know that, there's different things that happen in our lives. And well, listen, we become disconnected from our authentic selves. Okay, so let's talk about that a little bit. Okay, now one of the things is you have to realize, my love, you pick up other people's habits, thoughts, routines. Okay, whether it be from others or your environment, and these things become a part of who you are. But the thing about it is that also alters your authenticity, because now you have allowed outside sources to contribute to the person that you are, the way you look, the way you carry yourself, the way you present, or whatever it may be. I'm sorry, give me a second here. I done lost myself here. Hey, baby. Hey, Fiona. Hey, Magala. Hey, loves. Grand Rising, Grand Rising. How you guys doing? Let me know how y'all are doing. How y'all vibing today? And so, yeah, like I was saying is, you have to understand, the more you go through life, the more you are going to be exposed to outside energies. And well, this is why they say, what do they say? When I think it's the first 0 to 7, 0 to 7, is it? Kids are sponges and just soaking up stuff. Well, guess what? That never stops. And so your whole life you're growing. The people you're spending the most time with, the environments that you are spending the most time in, the activities, these types of things, they contribute to who you become at your core. Okay? And well, unfortunately, when you get so wrapped up in these energies, you begin to gravitate away from who you are. And a lot of times it's to do what? To fit in, to be popular, right? To be cool, this, that, whatever the reason may be. Okay? I'm sure that at some point in your life, whether in your adolescence, and well, some people experience up into adulthood, right? But you will experience this at some point in your life, okay? And so now that we're talking about it and we're in this space on this 21 days, when these emotions do come up, when you do start to realize these things, remember, you want to not judge yourself. Don't be judgmental on yourself. Understand it was a part of your life, what created you, the things that you needed to learn, and now you are aware of these things, and now you're going in and making the changes that you need to get in control of these things. Okay, so like I said, I absolutely I've been a part of this here. I've been in a place, in a space where I was doing what everybody else was doing, and this and that and all these things, and by the time I knew it, I'm walking around, and hell, I didn't know who I was. I've already told you this here. Okay, so don't be so critical here. From Palestine. Oh, okay. Hi, how are you doing? Thank you for being on here. Now, you know me, I don't believe in coincidences. So if you find yourself here, you're absolutely here for a reason. So get comfortable. You may not know it yet, but it's going to come to you. So now, another thing that occurs in life is when you don't have certain like guidance and support. I didn't growing up. I did not have this. You know, my mom was on in the streets here. My dad was in and out of the home. I was raised by my great grandmother, and so I didn't have a lot of guidance and support when it came to me for figuring out and discovering who I was at my core. Okay, so you can absolutely believe that what happens in this situation is you begin idolizing people, and we already know the only thing you should be idolizing is God. And if you understand this journey here, you know that God is you. You are God. So the only person that you should have been idolizing was yourself. This is that higher version of self, the thing you ought to be idolizing right now here. God in you. Right? So, listen. What happens is, well, you start looking up to these people and you start emanating these people. You now start walking, talking, acting, and behaving, and because this is a part of you trying to figure out who you are. So think of it as you trying different characters on for size. Okay? And like I said, it's going to change throughout your life here. I experienced this. This was something I experienced well up into my 20s, I can probably say here. It's a part of the how can I say this? That yearning, right? That part of trying to discover and figure out who you are, where you came from. The 5 questions I gave you yesterday, it's a part of that. Who you are at your core is your authentic self, your authenticity, right? The thing about your authenticity is that's what makes you different from everybody else. I tell you this all the time. You're not supposed to look like, walk like, talk like anybody else here. You should be one in a million. But unfortunately, this society, this program has gotten so deep and embedded in the subconscious mind here that, well, you look out and everybody looks the same. Everybody's doing the same thing. It's trending and all. Oh God, no. No, that's not what you want. That's not what you want to do. That's not where you want to be, okay? Now, sometimes you will also discover, especially like after being in a long relationship with someone and you part ways, And it doesn't always have to be a romantic relationship. What did I just tell you? You absolutely pick up things from other people, places, spaces, um, substances, whatever it is that you have been exposed to, right? Hey, Betty. Hey, Mama. Thank you, baby. Grand Rising. How are you doing, my love? So, when it comes to the point where these long-term relationships are now ending, you will absolutely notice the characteristics, habits, routines, and things that you have picked up from this person, this relationship, that now make up a part of who you are. And well, what happens is, sometimes along the way here, and this is why it's hard to, when you part in these relationships, to figure out who you are, what you want, where you're going, why you're doing this, why you didn't do that, because you allowed yourself at some point in that relationship to lose yourself by the wayside here. And what you did was you converted over to the person that person you were in that relationship was wanting, was requiring, was requesting. Okay? And what I'm gonna tell you, it's okay. I did it too. It definitely happened to me. That young love, and you think you in love and all these things, and instead of, you know this now though, right? You don't change yourself for anyone. You don't ever do that. You allow the changes to come to you, to yourself, in your time, for you, for your growth, not for the what's the word I'm looking here for? Not for the sake of others, not for the request of others, not to make them better, to give them into what they want here. The word I'm looking for, I lost it. It'll probably come back here in a minute. But you understand what I'm saying. So, if you find yourself in this space, you already know. Give yourself some grace here. It's okay. But you need to understand me when I say this. You need these things to come up to surface. You need to have these revelations. You need to be aware of this information. You need to be aware of these things about yourself, so you can get them together, so you can recalibrate your system. Okay? It's not the time to be running away. This is the time that you want to face these hard truths. Are they going to be hard? Some of them, absolutely. It's not easy, honey, when some of these emotions and the situations that come with the emotion come up to the surface. This is why you live to learn to do better. This is why you also have now the understanding, right, and are adopting this new mindset, and you absolutely understand that nothing happened to you. It happened for you. And so it was a part of your growth. It was a part of your journey. It absolutely had to happen. But you don't have to keep it, right? The emotions that come from it, the negative that comes from it. Okay? Now, one thing that I'm also privy to, and well, you know, I'm gonna say it like this. Sometimes you have people who are they're lost souls, you know, they're not in touch with spirit, right? And so they're not covered, and so they vibrate off of a low energy. And well, unfortunately, these people are very susceptible to these negative energies, to certain low vibrational energies. And what happens is, when these people come into contact with anybody, they either will begin to mirror that person, act like them, talk like them, walk like them, behave like them, right? or either become the mirror of what the person that they're in that relationship, like we just touched on, wants. So they totally change their whole everything, their whole personality. I mean, everything changes. And well, it's like they go from, well, one body to another. Well, I'm not going to say they go. It's, well, they allow one energy from another to enter their body. And well, oh God, that's a big sign of spiritual warfare here, okay? But so sometimes you will notice, people, if you have a high discernment, you can absolutely notice these different energies going in and out of that person, and that person being completely out of control. And one of the saddest parts about this situation is every now and then you will see that person, like they'll come up to surface, they'll have a minute, and it is the saddest thing you've ever seen in your life. And now that I think about it, I think it's they have a name for it here in the mental health world, because like DID, I think something like that, where you have the multiple personalities and stuff like that. This is why, what I keep telling you, a lot of things that are diagnosed in the mental health field are absolutely spiritual experiences, but they're being classified as you being crazy. Okay. When you begin to sit back and these things begin to come up to surface, and you know you're processing it, because you got to process this stuff, allow this stuff to come up so you can do what you need to do with it and let it go. Hey baby, how you doing, my love? How are you doing today? I hope you're having an amazing day. First thing is, I want you to enjoy it. I keep telling you this. This is going to be a part of you now, rediscovering who you are, okay? This is a part of you going through that grieving process, letting go of everything you felt, thought you knew, whatnot, about that old version of yourself, right? This is the part where you have to figure out, well, who am I? What am I? What am I doing? What am I becoming? What do I like? What don't I like? What do I like to eat? What do I, you see, all these things, literally, it's like you starting from scratch. That's why I keep saying you starting from scratch, literally. It's like erasing the board and starting over. Okay, because this is what you're doing. This is what you're doing. Listen, that's all I do over here is good energy. I already told you, if you don't want to feel good, don't come over here. This is not the place for you. You don't want to be here if you don't want to feel good. If you don't want to get lifted, you don't want to be over here. You ain't going to like it over here. Okay? So, what was I saying? I got sidetracked. Sorry. Oh, yeah. This is you. You're starting over from scratch, okay? Have fun with this. Let go of all the old, heavy and dense and just, I'm telling you now. Well, I can only speak from my experience, but like I said, there were so many things I had picked up from others, whether it was habits, even little things you say, things you eat. I'm telling you, we're energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. This is a great opportunity for you to sit back and understand here. Energy cannot be destroyed. It can only go around and around and around. So again, all day long, wherever you do, wherever you go, whoever you allow into your space, there is absolutely going to be an exchange of energy. And if you are not aware, if you are not covered, that means everywhere you go, you are exposed. You are a sponge. And everywhere you go, you're just picking up a drop of water until, well, now your sponge is full and dripping. You got to wring it out. You got to let that shit go, especially when it don't belong to you. You've picked it up along the way. You don't want to carry around old habits and routines and mindsets, heart sets, soul spaces here from one relationship to another, whether it be, again, a friendship, a partnership. It doesn't matter. All you have in life are relationships, family, friends, jobs. It's it. It's nothing but relationships. So you got to start being mindful of the energy you are keeping. That's what I'm going to call it. Not the company. That you got to start being mindful of the energy you are keeping, the energy you are entertaining, the energy that you are allowing in, and the energy that you are releasing. It is something on me. Okay? Now, once this beautiful, authentic version of you, look, begins to shine through, it's your obligation now to do what? To welcome her in, to make him comfortable, to cultivate that environment, that space, that atmosphere for this version of yourself to not only come through, but to be able to now hold the vibration on this realm. Okay? Like I said, remember, there's only one of you. You absolutely cannot be duplicated. That you are it. Okay? You're the original copy, baby. So, I want you to, for today's exercise, I want you to say something today that you've been holding back, loving and honestly. Okay? Remember, this is you being open, honest, and transparent with yourself. Yes, some of these things may hurt, but just like they hurt, you absolutely have what? You have the power to heal everything that you are exposing. You are it. You're what you need. You're what you're missing. Okay? Now, when you're authentic, you are operating out of a new system, okay? Your thoughts, your beliefs, your ideas, your heart, your soul, your mind. This is you now trusting, allowing your higher self, your beautiful self, who you are at your core, to now lead, guide, and dwell. The thing about you being authentic is this is a part of freedom. Everything that you're doing is coming from you, is coming from self, is coming from God. You are creating now. This is you stepping into your power. This is you not needing, seeking outside validation. And you understand that everything you need is right here. And you can absolutely do, be, have, whatever it is that your heart, mind, and soul desires and requires. Okay? I love you guys. I have left my links to the self-love, my self-love journals in the links description below box. You will also find there affirmation for today and a journal prompting for today. You are 16 days in. I can only imagine that there are beautiful things happening in your life, because I know for a fact that if you are applying yourself to this journey, if you are being intentional, if you're conscious, if you're mindful here, beautiful things can only happen. Okay, this is you now. Look, you in your flow, baby. Look, you in your flow. You are now creating your own vibe and riding your own wave, babe. It don't get no powerful than that, no stronger than that. Oh, I love you being here. Look, I love you being here. You're such a beautiful soul. You know, I just love you here. Have you learned anything? That's what I want to know. Are you learning anything? Are you listening to what I'm saying? That's what I want to know. That's what I need to know. So, like I said, I love you guys. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Same time, same place. Enjoy the rest of your day. But what do I want you to absolutely make sure you do for the rest of your day? Bye-bye.